Hi, it's Peter from Spin4Fun. In this video I will show you how the software works. You go to the main application folder and you start Spin4Fun, executable, and the application will open. So here we see the main panel and we have different subpanels. If you want to play live, you use start session, and we have also a simulation mode. We have some data panels like spin count panel, where you can see the count for each of the spin numbers. We have a racetrack layout where we can see where all the spins landed. You can set it for current version if you have a live casino with different dealers, and you can set the amount of spins you want to look back for it. For every spin you will see the newest spin will have the highest red color, and then it will fade out to green depending on the amount of spins. Progression. This is the different progressions you can use depending on the strategy. This can be used as a Lambert. For example, we start at 1. On loss we do +1. On win we do -1. The minimum bet we'll want to play is 1, and the maximum bet will be lower as 12. So this way you can have a variable progression. So for a progression you can make your own and see what the differences are. Clear all will remove all bets and stop the automatic playing. Balance strength will of course show you what happens with your bankroll, and progression stage will show you on which step the win is and when the loss are. So how do we use it? We're gonna start, in this case, a Bet Voyager roulette in demo. Okay, so that's loaded, and now we can do start session. Here we can then select the correct casino, and normally it automatically would detect where it's running in. So like in this case it's in Chrome, the red game in Chrome again. For Bet Voyager you need to always include simple bet, because that's the only way we could make it play automatically. And then we take whatever, you can have multiple strategies. So okay, we select neighbors, and then it will start to play. On Bet Voyager the first time it just captured 0, but after that it plays correctly. So now, depending on the strategy, it will start placing bets and play along with your selected strategy. Changes to strategies, right click, and we go to, the mouse is of course used, parameters, and you get a separate panel where, depending on the strategy, you can select which progression you're going to use, how many steps of that progression. Base bet means if you have different ships, so a base bet 1 means in Bet Voyager 1 cent, base bet 2 is 10 cents, and so on. And then you can set the number of bets. So if you want to play 5 cents every bet, you say 1, and here you put 5. Stop at the end of progression means if you set 5 steps and there is no win, then we will wait until the new trigger. For some strategies you can set the amount of to analyze spins. You can also set before end of a session, means if you know that the dealer normally does like 30 spins and you don't want to cross with a strategy over two dealers, then you say like -5, and then it will stop before the end of the session. Then we can say wait for virtual wins. So if you set 1 here, it will go first, make sure we have one virtual win before we gonna play for real, and the same of course for virtual losses. Max strategy steps, it means well, let me first say in this case we play neighbors, and I will play 3 neighbors, but I can if I say like 3 here, then it means if he don't win at the first, he will spin, he will keep those numbers and add the 3 neighbors of the next spin. If he don't win, he will add again the 3 neighbors of the next spin. So in total you can keep bets of previous spins and try to catch a win that way. Okay, so that's the settings of strategies, and you can restart, stop and start a strategy. And a casino also has properties, parameters. Right click, and these control, for example, the timing. This is independent for each casino. For the automatic playing is the wait after a win or after a loss before we place bets. The keep alive, because sometimes if we don't place bets, the live casinos will stop after a certain time. So we have keep alive session duration. If you have live casino, you can set this, but it's in seconds. Normally, how many spins do we predict per session, and then what's our default start balance? So this is in cents. So 50,000 is 500 units, and the same goes for the stop loss. So we can go 10,000 units minus cents, or we can stop at a certain profit. And for each there's also time for each casino to make sure we place the bets at the right time, and that we use stop end of session yes or no. So here we can control the stop loss. In case the bank balance goes negative, you can also here do change and also fill in the balance of your bank balance in cents again. Depending on the casinos, we also track the real bank balance, but we also show the calculated. That's the amount of spin captured, and here are the actual spins. And here you see some basic stats for high, low, even, odd, black and red for each column and each dozen. What are the amount, what are the percentages, how long are they ago, and how many we had overall. Because here I can say, for example, 2 means I only will look at the last 2. So if you want to do a manual play and look at these numbers, it's also possible. So that's the general use of Spin4Fun software.